Okay, hi folks. Here we go. Let's talk about the difference between the direct object and indirect object in a sentence. But first of all, how do you even know if there is an object? Well, here. My advice is usually start with the verb. Here the verb is love. The object will come right after the verb. So the Godfather is the object. Not every sentence has an object, but in this case we can ask, what does the subject love? What do I love? The Godfather. It's the object. I absolutely love the Godfather movies. But here it's plural, right? It's still the object. The whole phrase, the Godfather movies, is the object. What do I love? What does the subject love? The Godfather movies. And here as well, all of the Godfather movies, right? That's still the object. It's just answering that question of what do I love? Okay, so what we see here is that the object can be a singular thing. It could be one movie, it could be a couple of movies, it could be all the movies, but it's still the object. All right. English is actually pretty logical the way it works. It's a subject, verb, object language. Not all languages are like this. For example, in Russian, you can move the words around in any order. It has a different way of making sense of who does what to whom, or in English, it's about order of the words. So, for example, the subject, I, love is the verb, the object is those movies. What do I love? Those movies. My advice when you're analyzing sentences is to start with the verb. Sometimes you have a couple of verbs, right? The verb is usually the easiest thing to figure out. The subject comes right before the verb. The object comes right after the verb. English is consistent that way. Okay, now how do I know if the object is direct or indirect? Well, in this sentence, all of the Godfather movies, it's the direct object. It answers the question, what do I love? And let's not worry about the word absolutely. It's an adverb, and they're slippery, and let's not worry about that yet. We start with the verb, and then we ask, what does the subject love? All of the Godfather movies is the direct object. Here, oh, I sent a box set of all of the Godfather movies to my brother. What's the direct object? That whole phrase, a box set of all of the Godfather movies. Our verb is sent, right? So our object comes right after the verb. To my brother, or my brother is an indirect object. My brother is the indirect object because my brother receives the box set. The box set is the direct object. My brother is the indirect object. Can you change it around? Like, can you say, I sent a box set of all of the Godfather movies to my brother, but can you also say, I sent my brother a box set of all of the Godfather movies? Yeah. And you see the objects still come after the verb, but here we've changed the order a little bit. My brother is still the indirect object because he's receiving the box set. Okay, so what we know is that the direct object receives the action directly. It answers the question, whom or what after the verb. And it typically follows the verb, right? But not always, like we just saw. So examples, she ate an apple, the direct object is an apple. He kicked the ball, the direct object is the ball. What did she eat? What did he kick? Now, the indirect object indicates the person or the thing to whom or for whom the action is done. So it answers that question, to whom, for whom, and it comes after the verb. It's usually indirect objects are with verbs like giving, showing, sending, or telling. So examples, he gave me a gift. Me is the indirect object because I received the gift. The direct object is the gift, right? A gift. Now Me is the indirect object. She bought John a book. We know that the subject is she, the verb is bought, the objects will come right after the verb. John is indirect because he receives the direct object, which is the book. All right, I do hope this helps.